Let me slow you down for a second. Think about the last time you walked into a room full of strangers. Before anyone spoke, before names, before credentials, you already felt something. A tightening, an ease, a resistance, a pull. That sensation wasn't intuition, it wasn't wisdom, it was your nervous system making a bet. And once the bet is placed, the mind doesn't ask if it was right, it asks, how do I prove myself correct? By the end of this episode, not metaphorically but literally, you will no longer trust first impressions the same way again. Because you'll see how they don't just colour reality, they replace it. This is the halo and horns effect. Imagine watching a film through a tinted window. Red glass. Every character looks dangerous. Every scene feels hostile. Now imagine blue glass. Same film, same events. But now everything feels calm, safe, reasonable. The story didn't change. The filter did. The halo and horns effect is that filter, and it installs itself without permission. The halo effect, one positive trait becomes a spotlight. Confidence, attractiveness, articulation, status. That spotlight blinds us to flaws. We don't assess, we assume. And then there's the horns effect. One perceived flaw becomes contamination. Awkwardness, nervousness, rough appearance, social missteps. And suddenly nothing else matters. You're not evaluating data, you're protecting a narrative. Your brain is not designed for truth, it's designed for survival efficiency. In ancestral environments, hesitation meant death. Speed mattered more than accuracy. So the brain evolved a shortcut. Decide faster, correct later if necessary. The problem is modern life never corrected the mechanism. The amygdala fires first. Milliseconds later, logic arrives. And it's too late. Rational thought doesn't lead, it defends. That's why confident nonsense spreads faster than quiet truth. Charisma outruns competence. Certainty beats accuracy in influence. Picture a man walking into a room late. The scenario A, he's well dressed, calm, composed. You think he must be important. Maybe he's had a meeting and he's late. Scenario B is the guy is scruffy, nervous, avoiding eye contact. You think he's unreliable. He can't tell the time. He's unorganised. Same action, same behaviour, different story. Your judgment had nothing to do with the facts. They were both late. You only dealt with the framing. Edward Thorndike's experiment wasn't subtle. He asked officers to rate soldiers on unrelated traits. What he discovered was damning. If a soldier scored high on one visible trait, they scored high on everything. Even honesty, even intelligence, even leadership. Thorndike realised something disturbing. Human judgment doesn't add up evidence. It radiates outward from the first impression, like ink dropping in water. Imagine a village well. One rumour poisons it. No one drinks, even if the water is clean. That's the horns effect. Now imagine a crown placed on someone's head. Everything they say sounds wiser. Every mistake gets forgiven. That's the halo effect. Truth doesn't matter in either case. Symbol does. What about in dating? Attraction creates forgiveness. Red flags get rebranded as quirks. Leadership. People follow certainty, not truth. Confidence feels like safety. What about in sales? People buy the person first. The product is secondary. And social media. One viral moment creates perceived authority. Millions confuse visibility with value. Now this is where it becomes personal. One failure becomes a horns effect on your identity. One success becomes a fragile halo. You say, I'm bad at this. or I'm naturally good at this. Both are psychological traps. You're not bad, you're not exceptional, you're unfinished. Most people don't quit because reality defeated them. They quit because a moment convinced them it always would. Let's be precise, you can't escape this bias. So mastery means alignment, not denial. To gain ethical leverage is clear speech, calm certainty, strong posture, clean presentation. These don't fake value, they remove unnecessary resistance. In coaching, certainty creates safety. Safety allows honesty, and honesty enables change. In life, if perception opens a door, character keeps it open. History is full of people who understood this too well. Cults, scammers, false prophets. They didn't persuade with logic, they seduced perception. That's why knowing this matters, because clarity is defense. If you can see the halo forming, you pause. If you feel the horns activating, you question. Think of someone you dismissed quickly. Ask yourself, what if my first impression was wrong? Most people never ask that question, and it costs them opportunities, allies, and wisdom. Most people think they're reacting to reality. They're not. They're reacting to a decision they made before they were aware they made it. But once you see the filter, once you recognise the halo and the horns, you stop confusing confidence with truth. You stop confusing mistakes with identity. You see more clearly. And when you see clearly, you gain clarity. And clarity is power.